Right, 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 right. So just to double check, yeah, we are using the right microphone. So what's going to happen now is we're going to have a fun live coding session. I will just solve a random challenge from CodeWars. There will be no cut, no editing. I have no idea what this challenge is going to be. I have no idea if I'm going to solve that. Since there is literally no preparation, so someone can come in, my dog can bark, or something can happen. Hopefully, none of this is happening. But yeah, let's just get into that and do something. That's my CodeWars account and text align justify. Okay, just let's do this. Okay, so what this task is about. First of all, I'm guessing you might need to see my screen. And here is my screen. Okay, okie dokie. Let me just put this here. See, I see that my screen is not fully visible. Let me adjust that and let me adjust my photo. As I told, literally no preparation. So, yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so let me increase the font just a bit and see. Okay, that should be readable. Okay, so your task is to emulate text justification in monospace font. You'll be given a single line text and the expected justification width. The longest word will never be greater than the width. So what they are saying is that okay, I'm not sure that I understand the task. Let me see. Here are the rules. Use spaces to fill the gaps between words. Each line should contain as many words as possible. Okay. That's what we're trying to do. It's like, when you use Word, you're trying to justify text by two sides. Well, actually, it sounds pretty interesting. And that's why they mentioned that the word will always be smaller than the width they are providing. Okay, let's go through the rules. So, spaces to fill in the gaps, okay. Each line should contain as many words as possible. By the way, also we'll set up timer because I'm aiming to solve this challenge in less than 30 minutes. Well, hopefully. Okay, we use new line to separate lines, okay. We use gap between words, can differ by more than one space. Lines should end with a word, not a space. And is not included in the length. Large gaps go first, then smaller ones. Last line should not be justified. Use only one space between words. Last line should not contain new line. And strings with one word do not need gaps. To be honest with you, I have no idea how to solve this. I have a couple of ideas about backtrace and greedy algorithms. What I like here is that I can probably come up with two simple cases, so I can easily implement a one word string. So if there is only one word, we don't need to justify that. So maybe that's the direction I'm going to take. So I really like CodeWars because it allows me to test drive an algorithm. By the way, we're getting the test driving the algorithm. There will be a video on my channel at some point. Just a little bit of a plug here. So okay, well, let's stop talking. Let's start doing. So 1, 2, 3, 45, 6, and the length. So this is words apparently, and we should have something like that. But that's too complex. Let's start with something simpler. So if there is only one word, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and I want to have 1, 2, 3. how I make this happen? A very simple thing. I just return text, and if there are two words, I need to justify them somehow. Okay, that gives me an idea of how I can solve this. So if I just try to work with one word, then two words, then three words. Okay, I think I'm onto something. So that was saying that the last line should not be justified. So even if it's two words, but if it's smaller than 7, I still can return text. So it seems that I can use an if here. So if, yeah, that should do if len text is smaller than width, then I'm returning text, and that also should work with my first test case. And that's what we're doing in test-driven development. You case by case essentially trying to build your application. So we have 7 here, so it's 4, so it should be like that. Let's attempt and see. They both should be passing. They are not passing for some cases because the result are not string in some cases. What case is it? One passed, one failed. Which one failed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think it's failed because of that, but I just thought that I can do this. Why? I don't really know which one is failing. This one is failing. If len of text is smaller, okay, let's just identify which one is failing. I should have started earlier by just doing one test. But okay, I think it's not my test which is failing attempt. Yeah, that's the thing. I shouldn't have used the attempt. Instead, I should have used test. So that's gonna, okay, obviously passing. So there was no problem. It's that when you call attempt, it's trying to run all the tests here. Okay, so we going back to where we started. So we have our last part of the stream, and it seems to me that it would be probably easier to start with the last and then go like that. I'm trying to think. It's probably not gonna work here because I believe it's doing it the other way around, and what it's trying to do is it is trying to squash as many words as possible in one line, and then probably add spaces to make the line fit. So that's what I think I should be doing. Go line by line and probably use the recursion, recursively call itself, and take the text into some variable. So let's say I have a variable called lined text, and I have a function which is going to be justify logic, which takes, say, remaining text and width, and yeah, and that's will be the body, and line text will be this one. So line text, aligned text. Okay, instead of returning, I will just add this to line text. Align text plus, yeah, like that. And yeah, probably I don't want to be using string here because strings are mutable, and I'm when you are changing strings in the loop, you're eating unnecessary memory and you can run out of memory. So let's use the Python version of string builder, which is essentially a list. So it will be aligned text, empty list, and here I will just append text, align text, append text. Then what I'm doing, I'm calling this justify logic text with, and I'm returning line text. Return aligned. Oh, not aligned text. I'm joining it. So that's how you do this. Join. Just in case you don't know what I'm doing here with this very funny function, is I'm joining whatever I have in a line text list, and I'm separating them by this string, which is empty string. So essentially it's concatenating list back into string, and it is more memory efficient than summing up strings. Okay, test. Still passing. That's a good sign. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do here, I need to go through my text and I need to find number of words. So essentially I will need to go word by word, and probably will be easier for me to break the words into list again. So let's say I need to change this to list. So remaining text, remaining text, that's gonna be list now. It's text split, and what I don't know, what I don't see is that if a new line character is possible, if it's a valid input, I'm assuming it's not. It should be not, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit more challenging. But let's see. So let's say I'm breaking this by spaces, and that should give me an array, a list of words. Now what I'm going to do here is instead of len here, I need to be able to count the length this as a string. Okay, that's pretty much simple, and I already see that I had a mistake here, and that's why probably my test was pausing. Okay, let's fix this. So okay, let's say remaining text. Instead of the remaining text, we're going to have text, and now we using the join. We're eating some extra memory here, we're definitely doing that. But as I always say, first you need to solve the challenge, then you need to optimize this. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I'm kind of masking it here. Don't like that because it creates ambiguity which text it is. So let it be txt. That's going to be txt. And because this is going to be always the same, I'm not going to pass it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we have broken that. So 1 2 3 should be equal 1 2 and this should be equal 1, 2, 3. Okay. Something is not right. Okay, that's because I need not add this. I need to add this. Okay, 1 has passed. That's a movement into the right direction. So why I'm not passing here? Okay, I've split it here. Well, I don't know how to properly debug it here. Wow, I don't know. Does anyone know? No one knows how to debug this. Okay. Because there is no messages. Okay, well, never mind that. Let me just add some prints here. So let's say print remaining text. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. And then print txt, print txt. Oh, well, obviously it's because I'm calling it using the wrong parameter. Remaining text. Yeah. Again, I'm masking different things, and that's annoys me. Run. Okay. Sequence item, blah blah blah. Something had failed. What had failed? Justify logic. Log 1, 2, 3. That's what we printed. And then, okay, print lined text. Lined text. It should be 1, 2, 3. It is. It's not 1, 2, 3. Because the remaining text is a list. Yeah, that's annoying. That's gonna fix that. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave my debugging here just in case. Okay, so we should be ready to move to the logic. So what I'm gonna do here is that if I'm going to build a txt here, instead of joining the remaining text, I'm going to build txt 1 by 1. It's okay. I think that will be a little bit not memory efficient, but okay. I mean, I just want to have it working first. So yeah, what I'm doing, I'm taking. Okay, I'm just concatenating my words, like let's say line candidate equals, and I'm going to have a loop here for actually while. That's going to be while len line candidate is smaller than width. So as soon as it becomes longer, we are getting rid of one word. So what we're gonna do here is to have another thing. So let's say line candidate okay, let it be just empty string for now. Okay, empty string. And then what I'm going to do here is add one word and add one space. That's not gonna work if space is exceeding, but if I'm without space, that's a little bit of special case. So what I'm doing about spaces, and I wanted that to put into the line, to be honest with you. I still want to have this, so it's not going to be landline candidate, it's going to be join line candidate. Yeah, that's going to be better. So I'm going to just append words here. Line candidate equals remaining txt op. So essentially taking the first and putting it here, and that's not equals, it's just append in this case. Append, yeah. Okay. Oopsie doopsie. What did I do? Yeah, I was trying to use bean combination and it didn't work. Okay. Right, let me see. And then what I have, a line candidate, I actually need to have a failing test for this. Let's disable this, otherwise I'm gonna shoot myself in the loop. So let's say it has to be actually interesting border case. If I use 4 here, well, let's say 3. I should have 2 lines like that. Yeah, there are a couple of interesting border cases here. So let's see. Is my timer? Well, I'm almost run out of time. Okay, so it is failing now, which is really annoying. Pop from empty list. Main txt. Okay. And main txt. Test. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Python. Right, so we have broken everything. Okay, okay. I'm not using line candidate anywhere. How could I break this? Okay, never mind. That's the line candidate. That's txt. Then print txt. Ah, that's because I'm taking it out here. Obviously, yeah, obviously. And I need to do, yeah, that's, let's see. We have one test path. Then we have the other test which is not passing because I mixed them the other way around. That's because I need to reverse before popping, or reverse line candidate. Yeah, let me probably just reverse it before calling. I'm not sure, probably that's reversing. It looks like reversing. I don't remember. Reverse list Python. Yeah, that's the one. I made a mistake. Okay. Okay, so you're passing, you're not, because I'm not using it, that's fine. So at least I hadn't broken this one, which is nice. Why not? You're not passing. I'm writing 1, 2, 3 here because I'm not calling myself. And I need to call myself again. Let's say if remain text, remain txt in this case, remain txt, then I'm calling myself justify logic remain txt. Okay, we have to pass in and one typo, this one. We have to pass in, and yes, so what's going on here is that because there are 2 lines and I did not add a line, a new line symbol here, I think I just need to do it here. Okay, new line, test. Okay, it's passing. Nice. Let's see how good or bad I am. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's say this is 4. So this should be 1, 2, 3. And that's one of the border cases. I'm not quite sure about this one, how it should behave in this case where the word is like just one symbol smaller than the width. I think that should be the way it works. Like, but there is one requirement that it should not end with space. So yeah, I don't think it should be like that. I think it should be like that. So yeah, let's see. Let's test this. Okay, this is failing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 23. Then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 23. Then 23. And that's what we get. 23 should be equal 23. Okay. Now that's strange. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. So let's just concentrate on this. I probably missed something very simple. That's because it's like almost 11 p.m. But yeah, feel a little bit silly. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So that's the one. That looks okay. And that's also going to come in. Of course, that's annoying. Alright, so instead of popping, let's just iterate. So let's have an index, which is going to be 0. And we're going to increase index, so we're going to have so it's not going to be remaining text, it's going to be index is smaller than len remaining txt, and then I don't need to invert q anymore. I'm going to take remaining txt index. I'm going to increase index by 1. Test. A local variable index reference before assignment. Here's my index body. Because it is global, you don't like the global variable, don't you? I need to use you outside because I want this to be static in this case. We used to use the keyword static for the things like that in C, if I'm not mistaken. That's a little bit annoying. Can we infer index without passing index? Yes, we can. No, we can't. Not until. So index can be inferred because we are going word by word. So aligned text. No, it's not true because my aligned text has a new line symbol as well. Oh, like maybe that's gonna work. That's dirty, but maybe that's gonna work. No, it's not working. I thought that if I'm calling this from the same function, I would be able to change this. I can change list because it's a reference type, but I cannot change integer. I'm feeling really silly. If anyone who is viewing it, if there's people viewing it, knows how to do this, yeah, just tell me because I'm feeling really stupid now. What the heck? It was easy to change the collection. It was like a very functional way of doing things. Just pass the collection, the remaining of the collection. And okay, I know how to do this. I can pass it, obviously. So I can pass, let's see, what I call a start index. And that's also going to help me with a particular corner case. Okay, I like that. So this is a start index. I just using this start index and index to avoid again ambiguity. That's what I'm going to hear is that's my index becomes start index. Maybe index -1. Okay, I'm over time, but I don't care because I like this challenge. So let's say index -1. I guess it should be index -1 test. Positional argument. Yeah. 0. I don't need this index here. Let's delete this. Okay, so that's I can rename this to current index and get rid of all that, and that's going to be okay, I guess. Remaining txt is not defined. What did you mean? Yeah, again typo. Yeah, current index and then increase. Okay, where's this arrow? Again, it's here. Why am I making a typo in the word remaining? List object is not callable. Yeah, it is not callable, that's true. It was supposed to be square brackets. Okay, that's went a bit out of control. Just a bit out of control. I feel that I should be really close though. Probably this -1 wasn't necessary. Oh dear, oh dear. What do I do now? Okay, and yeah, obviously, because we not in decrease in remaining txt, this if has to be redone. So current index has to be less than length. Okay. And we back to square one. But at least I can print current index, which is helpful, I think. And I also can print line candidate. I don't need to print line candidate because I have it here. Okay. I also need to. Yeah, that's going to break at some point. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely going to break. Current index 3. That's 23, and that's why aligned text is printed just once. And that is, I think, because, yeah, that was, I thought would be happening. In the line candidate, I have, so in the loop on line 9, what's happening is that the loop stops when we have more words than we need. And we would like to have smaller. So what I need to do here is a funny thing. Just undo the last part. And essentially that's going to be line candidate equals line candidate. I'm going to use slice here, and current index going to be decreased by 1. Let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 23. We got 23. That's good. That is good. But next one is not working the way I want. Maybe I don't need to. Okay, at least it looks different. Again, we are doing it just one time. One candidate, 1, 2, 3. Why did 3? 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I need to subtract 2 here. Okay, that's better, just a bit, not too much. 1, 2, 3. Come on, I'm dancing around the same thing, feeling insanely stupid. Okay, if there is one lesson I want you to take from this exercise is that you don't do random challenges on CodeWars when it's in just the middle of the night and you work the whole day before that. But I still want to solve the challenge. I really like that. Really like this one. Let's see. What's going on here? Let's just try to think logically. So here, okay, I don't need to. Yeah, that's what's going on here. My current index is not growing. And that is because line candidate is small. Is it? Okay, smaller or equals. Bloody me. Okay, we moved here. That's definitely an improvement. So why don't we move to the 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4? Why we stopped at 2? Because current length is smaller than remaining txt. That's already not remaining txt. It's just, let's say, text list. Yeah, if you name variables better than I did now, the code that you use will make more sense. Okay. That's also not remain text. It's just text list, but I don't want to change this just in order not to confuse me even more. Yeah, text list. Yeah, okay, so we are here. That's our text. We don't need to print this. This looks okay. Current index here 2, and we stopped at 2, and we continue and continue and continue. Why don't we add the last one? That's probably because when the current index is okay, that doesn't make sense. Current index 2 is this element. Alright, because I'm removing it here. And I need to do this only if it's not the last string. So I need to spot if I added anything before doing this. Okay, I have an idea. So if current index is more than start index, and that's equals start index. Okay. And yeah, I obviously need to add tabs here, test. Come on, you're still not passing. Because equals shouldn't be here. No. Okay, so if current index is bigger than start index, we are changing current index, we're deleting line candidate here. Okay, let me print line candidate. Let's see, line candidate. Okay, yeah, this is my guy. This is my line candidate. Maybe this is not enough. Maybe we need to add more than one word. Only in this case. Okay. And current index. So if it's not the last word, because if the last word, there is no words to remove. So if this is the last word, so if current index less than len text list. again, back to square one. 3 here. Line candidate. But at least we called it twice. That's already nice. That was 23, 23. Okay. Now I see what the problem, and I don't really want to solve this like this. Maybe I went to the wrong direction in the first place. Let me think. So yeah, okay. I know what to do. I need to forget about the index. I need to go here and remove the word only if it's bigger than bits. Only. That was simple and I was stupid. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is because this test was wrong. That test is passing. Finally. Okay, so far I was able to justify only single word. I need to make a next step and justify more than one word. Now the problem here is I need to add more spaces here than I'm adding here, and I don't know number of spaces, not just yet. I can try to count them. Like for example, I know the missing spaces, and then I can try to split them between words. So I need to try to create what's called a sum, a set of decreasing, a decreasing tuple essentially. Yeah, so it's essentially a break the number of spaces into some. I'm trying to think if there is a better way to do this, like a smarter way to do this. I can try to backtrack, like essentially add one space, check if the line is the width, then add one space again, check. That's going to be slow, so I don't want to do that. Instead, I want to try to come up with this approach, counting beforehand. I need a pen and paper. I've got paper. I don't have. Where is my pen? Pencil or anything. The rubbish. Oh, here it is. Okay, that's gonna work. Okay. So if I studied math better, probably not as long ago as I didn't, I would probably recall how to do that. What we have? Any good comments? No good comments yet. That's that. No good comments. Well, I mean, you could at least have written that I was doing something very stupid. Ooh. let's say I know I need to put 7 spaces. I know the number of words, so I need to break those 7 spaces into... Okay, I can use a greedy algorithm to calculate this. Okay, that makes sense. I like this challenge. It's nice. It's multifold one. There are lots of things in it. Well, I mean, that's why I'm saying that CodeWars is very nice for actually learning how to write code. It's better than leetcode in this regard. Leetcode is more like algorithmic wise, which is good if you want to learn algorithms. It's just not always, how to say that, not always relates with your work. This one is definitely relates with one's work. So that's a very nice challenge, and a multifold one. So I have 7 spaces, and I need to use, that's a greedy algorithm. Yes, it is. So I will start by so let's say 7 spaces and 3 words. So I divide 7 by 3. And obviously not going to divide, so I'm getting 2 plus something. So it's not working. But it could work, so that's one special case where, for example, I don't need this, but cracking with spaces. And in this case, what I'm doing, yeah, that's what I will need to change. This guy. So instead of spaces joining here, I will add spaces to the line candidate between the words. Okay, it will be easier to build a new list. And to go this list from the back side, adding 1 space. Yeah, with the greedy algorithm it works the other way around. I'm adding, for example, 7 spaces and then nothing works. Yes, because it should be greedy with backtracking. Okay, so first idea is that if I need to add many spaces, more than 1, the best case scenario would be, well, it's not the best case scenario, it's just a scenario. It would be to add, okay, no. Large caps go first and smaller ones spaces. Okay, I don't need to break spaces like that. Yes, I just need to build a space range which is gradually increasing. But why, for example, it's 2, 2, 2, 1? Because it could be 1, 1, 2, 3. So what is the requirement that is hidden? The requirement is probably the maximum gap should be minimized. So oh, that's really fun challenge. So that's what you're doing, huh? So, okay, let's go with a brute force because I can't think of another brute force solution, and I want to at least do this with a brute force. So the brute force solution would be add a single space. Check if the width is as expected, and if it's not, we add one space at to the first word, and if it's not, you add another one space to the second word, and we go like that until we build it. So let's say here instead of this. Well, actually, that can be our first attempt. And then it's going to be the odd one. Yeah, okay, let's be this first attempt. So if text is not text txt, if len txt, if it's smaller than bits minus, okay, if it's smaller than bits, then what we are doing is here. Let's say that, and let's say I equal 1. In this case, if it's smaller, I'm going to go into the loop where I will be adding the spaces to the list, and for this I will just be replacing essentially one space with two spaces, this like something like that. So if len, so instead of a if len, we're going to use while, and we're going to have again, can I use this another start in this? Yeah, I can. Let's see. That's also kind of shows why you need to break a function into smaller one, because there are lots of things happening in this function, and they're already trying to mess with each other. So let's say I'm going to add another function. Let's say justify line, and it's gonna go here. So line, and I don't need to pass this here, and that's gonna be print. And that's going to be txt equals justify line txt, and just print this here. And delete this. Yeah. Okay, so going here. Okay, so while len line is smaller than width, what we're gonna do here, we are going to iterate. So I need to have start index. It's going to be 1. Oh, why 1? Because you shouldn't end here is the len of line is less than Oh, it should not also do the last line. I'm not sure what to do about the last line, but okay, let's forget about this. Let's try to build on the last line, one thing at a time. So yeah, I don't have a test for this. Well, I have other tests which should not be failing. Okay, and I don't like... Yeah, it's difficult for me to operate like this, so I don't need to join this. I should not join that. So it's not that, it's just going to be line candidate. So I'm not changing this. I'm changing that. So my line candidate goes here. Now what I'm doing with line candidate, I'm checking if it's more than one. Yeah, I just like confused myself. So I didn't add the spaces here. So that's what I should do. So line with is going to be how to do this. Okay, so we'll say line with spaces. I'm just going to use very simple loop. Line with spaces equals that for word in line, then line with spaces and word, and then append space. And then we delete space here. If there is anything, yeah, because it makes empty if line with spaces, it should be more than 2 always. So I can safely delete the last one. Equals line with spaces -1. Okay. And then now we're going to go here, and my start index is going to be start index 1, and then while len line is smaller than width, and that's obviously shouldn't be line, it should be join line with spaces first, and second we don't go to the loop if line with spaces is empty. If while, okay, so that should be right. So first start index is 1. We are adding so line is spaces. It should not be start index, it's going to be index in this case. Index equals just add a space here really, and we increase index and then if index is by 2, and if index is more than line is spaces, it goes back to 1. Crazy. Not sure if it's gonna work, but I'm really tired and I want to solve this challenge. Obviously it's not gonna work. At least this index out of range. Yes, and in this case it is going to be out of range because it's the last word. That's kind of a border case what I'm thinking about. And if there's only one word, I don't need to do anything. Just I can immediately return. So if line equals 1, I just return. I'm also not returning anything. That's stupid. Join line. Okay. But here I need to return. Join line is spaces. Okay, some tests are passing. That's nice. Some tests are passing. This one is passing, that's nice. This one is passing, this is also nice. And this one, why not passing? And that is because the test itself is not... Oh no, it is correct, because that's the last line. But if it weren't the last line, then the test would be correct. So we just add a test because I'm testing logic here. Something really nice. So that should be like that. This is passing. This is passing. I'm onto something. I might be actually going to solve this bloody challenge. Right. It is a brute force solution though. I don't like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to come up with something nice, and I'm not sure if I have a time or desire to clean up this code. It ended up a little bit too complex. Or maybe I'm just being stupid, I don't know. Alright, so I need to solve a requirement regarding the last line. I believe I need to do it here, so I can ignore just a fine line. I can skip this if I know I'm going to have only one line. How do I know that I'm going to have only one line? How do I know that the line is last? And I know that because of the current index. If current index is smaller than len, and it's called text list, then I'm calling you, and I don't need the iteration, just let's say txt. Okay, local variable, yeah, okay. Otherwise, else, txt is just that. Yeah. And they are now passing. I'm feeling positive. I think I have implemented all the requirements. Let me see. Use spaces. We use spaces. Each line should contain as many words as possible. We do this by greedily taking them here. Use anti-support lines, we use this. Gap between words can't differ by more than one space. We do this. That's also true. Then lines should end with a word, not a space. Well, actually, we don't do this. I don't have any logic checking for this, but because we are adding spaces gradually, we should be, I think, in most scenarios, fulfill this requirement. Okay, and it's not including the length of line, that's okay. Large gap go first. We do this. Last line should not be justified, we do this. Last line should not contain we do this. String with one word do not need gaps. Oh yeah, that's the requirement. We do this. I don't know. Let's attempt. I don't know. Go to hell. It's not passing. I hate them. Really hate them. Okay. I don't know why. I'm just... Okay. List index out of range. Lorem ipsum. Okay. Let me write text and print text and this text and then with, because without that I don't know what's going on here. I already hate you. Why are you failing? I want to sleep and you're failing. That's not fair. Okay, wrong button. Okay, lorem ipsum dollar line candidate lorem ipsum dollar, and then you're failing because index out of range. It can only happen if we have a very long word. Need to go here to the function where I'm doing this. That's when I'm doing this. Line 21. Yeah, line 21. So, screw you. Let's print index, and then let's print line with spaces. Line with spaces. Okay, so that's line with spaces. Index 3. And then line with spaces, and that's where I'm failing. Because 3 is already too much. But why didn't we go to 1 back? So index, because I made a mistake here. A silly mistake. So if index more than line with space, so that's going to happen here. 3 is obviously more. But why we ending with 3? Here we should. So here, index plus 2. So if index is bigger than len, yes, I solved this challenge. Alright, I think I have some stamina to try to clean up the code. I'm not going to come up with the efficient algorithm for that. I'm not sure if there is an efficient algorithm for that, to be honest with you. Probably there is, but I just don't feel like thinking through it. Let's try to just clean code a bit. First of all, let's delete all the debug stuff because I don't need that. Not anymore. So deleting all these prints. And then let's see if I can improve code in some other way. I don't like this justify logic function. There's just too many things going on here. So what's going on here? We are calculating index and we are building line candidate. Yeah, I could probably take this into a different function. I'm not sure if it's going to improve things much. This can go into the function though. If current index is smaller than len, you don't know the current index, right? Okay, that's I can try to move it outside, but that's not going to be like a very good improvement. Okay, so here if len txt is smaller than line text and text, if current index is smaller, then line n, then we are calling justify logic. Well, probably can be improved, but not by much, I think. So yeah, just let it be it. Attempt an answer time. Like broken something. Would I break? Oh, I didn't break you. I broke you. Yeah. Submit. Done. Done. Yeah. I hate you. Check this out. Someone made a very, very small and I would say probably efficient one. Yeah, they're using recursive algorithm and they're using expand. Essentially, so they are using the same logic as I, but they are not as verbose as I, more cryptic. Less lines of code though. I don't see there much efficiency improvement. It's still the same logic. And they're using recursion for this as well. Okay, I was on the longer side. This one is short as well. Okay, at least I was not the longest. That's nice. Really nice and clean it looks, even though this code is longer, but still looks nice. Well, never mind that. Feel tired. Let's wrap it up. Thank you for watching, for all those 2 people who watched me. Right. Next time. See you next time, guys.